Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this evening's news bulletin. The board of the Seychelles Broadcasting Corporation, SBC, has expressed serious concerns over several provisions contained in the newly published Seychelles Broadcasting Corporation Bill 2026, which was recently gazetted by government as part of the proposed reforms to the national broadcaster. In its statement, the board says that it acknowledges the objectives of establishing a modern, independent, and financially sustainable SBC. However, the SBC board has indicated that a careful examination of the bill reveals that several provisions of the bill could weaken the institutional independence of SBC. Also speaking on the matter, SBC board chairman Gérard Lafortune says that he is disappointed by some of the provisions contained in the proposed legislation.
Unfortunately, we as the main stakeholder were not consulted in the entire process. But at least today we have it. We have the bill. I must say it's way below my expectation. I would even say I'm disappointed. And I'm disappointed principally because the new bill has very strong language with regards to independence of SBC and the impartiality of SBC, transparency, and so on. But when you go into the specific provisions of the bill, these provisions do not necessarily reflect the initial language and intent which is provided in the bill. Before, senior members, for example, the chair and vice chair of the board, had to go through a vetting process, an application process through the CAA, the Constitutional Appointments Authority. We were comfortable that authority has a proper mandate and is properly constituted to undertake a fair and balanced assessment of candidates to recommend to the president. Now, the role of the Constitutional Appointments Authority has been revoked under the current bill and has been replaced by a 3-person committee to be appointed by the president to select candidates and to recommend to the president. So I feel that erodes the independence and impartiality of the process.
The Council of Ministers recently approved plans for the national airline, Air Seychelles, to review the possibility of making long-distance flights again. This is in destinations such as Paris, but this should be in a sustainable way for the company. Minister responsible for transport, Véronique Laporte, explains that the plan is an assurance for Seychelles when other airlines stop their flights to Seychelles due to conflicts or other global issues. The plan Air Seychelles planning to look for 2 Airbus A321 XLR. This is a narrow-body aircraft which specializes in sustainable long-haul flights. It will make maintenance as simple as possible since Air Seychelles is already using 2 Airbus Neo. There is also the fact that it can replace the 2 Neos on a regional route if needed compared to another more fuel-efficient aircraft. Air Seychelles will be leasing the 2 aircrafts as it is currently doing with the 2 it is using, and it is expected to arrive in 2 to 2.5 years. The Institute of Technology, SIT, is sending 3 of its teachers this Sunday to Chengdu, China for a 2-week training. This is part of an MOU that SIT and Sichuan Province, China, signed last year to improve professional development of teachers. It was in a small ceremony that the 3 lecturers who specialize in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Electronics and Electrical Installation received their plane tickets from the first counselor of the Chinese Embassy to Seychelles, Mu Zhengfeng. This initiative is part of the ongoing effort to strengthen bilateral relations and educational partnership between Seychelles and China, particularly in the field of education and technical training.
They're going to be there for 2 weeks training, after which we will know the development of the program, how it will work. They might send their lecturers over to us, or they might tell us now it's the turn of the students to come over. We're just waiting for when the lecturers come back to see how this MOU will develop. We're very much looking forward. They have a timetable which has been drafted by the Polytechnic where they're going, and we will see when they come back, how this will develop. And of course, they'll convey this training to the students as well. We're very happy for that because the lecturers will gain extra knowledge in the new technologies that are emerging.
The winner of the Great Battle for the Crown competition, Abdel Assari, met with President Dr. Patrick Amini this morning. Abdel was accompanied by his parents. Also present were the British High Commissioner to Seychelles, Jeff Glicken, and the Minister for Youth and Sports, Kelsey Bell. The meeting comes just days before Abdel travels to London to take part in a new international music festival experience.
Abdel Assari, who will celebrate his 16th birthday on the 24th of June, secured victory in the final of the Great Battle for the Crown competition last Saturday. This morning, the young singer met with President Amini, where they held discussions on his achievement and upcoming trip to London.
The discussion with the president, it was about how to represent Seychelles, how to stay humble like I am today. The preparation for London is very good. I'm preparing. I'm on a vocal rest right now, and it's good. I'm very excited for me to go there.
Alongside Abdel were his parents, Minister Kelsey Bell, and British High Commissioner Jeff Glicken. Ambassador Glicken noted that following a 3-month journey through the competition, preparations are now focused on London. He added that Abdel is expected to perform at least twice during the festival.
We've been working very closely with our team in London at South by Southwest Festival to make sure that he has a great opportunity to showcase his talent. So we're performing. We have 2 performances in London, one in front of a VIP dinner, which will include music executives and people from the creative industries, not just from the UK, but from around the world, because London and South by Southwest London attracts a lot of international interest. And then there will also be a public performance alongside Tanya and Isham. And the whole week, I think, is an opportunity to experience another country, to network, and to see just what these big festivals around the world are like.
Ambassador Glicken explained that there will be no competition in London. Instead, Abdel will participate in the South by Southwest Festival, an international event that brings together artists from around the world to perform before global audiences.
And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the news bulletin for now. We'll be back at 8 with more news, more information in Creole.